Hey girls of Mechanicsburg Middle School. It's so nice to meet you guys. I wish I could be there in person or at least be Skyping in, but obviously with the snow and the weather that's not possible. Thank you, Laura, for asking me to do this. I'm really excited, and honestly I'm a little nervous because I'm not used to filming myself like this. So if you guys could just bear with me for this, I would really appreciate it. So Laura sent me some questions, or I guess Miss Martin sent me some questions about that you had for makeup and hair. So I'm just going to kind of touch briefly on some of those things. I don't know if it'll take up completely a full hour, but there'll be some great things for you guys to try at home. These are things that I really wish that I had known when I was in middle school. I would have saved myself probably a lot of embarrassment and looking back at old photos and everything. So I will get started, and I hope you guys get some useful hints and tips out of this. First, I'm going to start off with concealer. Oh, also, I'm just going to kind of talk about the basics of makeup and then touch a little bit on some of the things that you asked her about. Just because since you're in middle school, you're kind of at the beginning of your makeup journey, if you will, and, well, you'll find as you get older that less is more. Also, don't wear anything that your parents tell you that you're not allowed to wear. Don't get me in trouble. So, concealer is the number one basic. I do have minimal makeup on right now. My concealer I use is from MAC. However, since you're just kind of starting to use things, I would suggest just going to the drugstore and just kind of playing around with what they maybe have there and, trying out what works for you. Concealer is not meant to go all over your face. It's just supposed to go in those little problem areas, maybe where you have a blemish or a dark spot. For me, I put it underneath my eyes because I have bags and you can see them. So concealer does not always conceal everything. And then just like my little blemishes, pimples, something like that pops up. So I already do have some on, but I'm just going to put a little bit on just to kind of show you guys. I just touch it right underneath both of my eyes. Typically I use a brush, but I'm assuming most of you guys don't have brushes, so I'm going to simplify it as much as possible. You want to use your ring finger. Why? Because it is the weakest finger on your hand, and you don't want to be like tugging and pulling it underneath your eye, because if you continuously do that for years and years, then you're going to develop wrinkles faster underneath your eye. So you just kind of want to do a triangular thing right in here. You don't have to go all the way up to your eye, but that is that. You want to you don't ever want to just put it right there, because you're going to have a white spot right underneath your eyes. It's going to be a reverse raccoon look, and you want to make sure that everything is blended. Things can never be blended enough. And for the sake of time, I'm just going to take my brush real quick and do this. For those of you who are wondering, this is a MAC brush also, the 132. But again, this will come later in life. Just go ahead and use your fingers for now. So I just do that. I'm just going to leave it there for now. I'm not really going to put it anywhere else because everyone has blemishes in different areas of their face. Right now I have a little one right here, which I would typically do something with, but we're not going to worry about that right now. So by now all of my concealer is pretty well blended. You do want to make sure that you have a concealer that is about your skin tone. You don't ever just want to put it somewhere like wherever you're supposed to have it and just leave it. You always want to make sure that the surrounding areas are blended. So which I have done. And then I just always like to go in with a little bit of powder, whether it's like translucent powder or a powder that's kind of somewhat matches your skin tone. I'm just going to do this, just make sure that it kind of sets it a little bit so you don't get like creases and you don't want the makeup to move much. So there's that.